Hey there, guys. Hope you're doing fine and dandy fandy landy today. Today I wanted to basically talk about something that I think is quite prevalent within the LGBT community and also the people outside of that community, which has been kind of a division within there, and I wanted to basically talk about that. So, when I mean division, I mean that people on the outside of our community sometimes won't want to talk to us, and I think for the most part it's for very valid reasons, and I wanted to basically air them reasons to the universe and to you guys so you know that you're not the only one thinking this, because for a while I thought I was. So, being a young gay guy who is 24, I would say that I'm in between the new school of wokey leftist stuff that is like very strict, but then I'm also in between the very old original gays of the world that wasn't really brought up with this. So because I would say that I'm probably more on the end of obviously on the young new lefty wokey stuff of the LGBT movement, but I would say that I'm still in the middle. So I wanted to basically talk about how, in my opinion, and for a lot of other gay guys' opinions when they've spoke to me about this, it's always best to be a middle ground person, someone that isn't 100% woke, someone that isn't 100% right wing, Republican, kind of conservative people, just 100% traditional. And it's always best to look at things with a grey area and a middle ground. That's very much what my life and personality is about, and I try to encourage that with the people in my life and hopefully the people who watch this. So, some of you might not know what them sides are, but basically, a lot of kind of older gays are, or even sometimes even some of the newer ones, are told to shut up and listen half the time to what a lot of the leftist people are talking about, and half the time they're not actually one of the letters. They're not gay, they're not bi, they're not lesbian, and they're not trans. They're one of the made up ones that they have made up themselves. And, it's very apparent that that is what's happening. And that is okay for their life, they have every right to live like that. But it shuts down conversation when you're bullied or being talked into not voicing your actual opinions because you'll be deemed as like sexist, homophobic, racist, transphobic, or whatever. And to me, that's just so harmful. And so many people who are woke won't admit this, but 100% for the most part, they are the reason why people don't really like us or listen to us anymore. Because we got to a point, I would say, after we got gay marriage and gay adoption, that, like, obviously there's going to be boneheads everywhere, regardless of what we say, but overall, we got our message across and people were happy with the message because it was 100% facts and it was pro science and we weren't lying about anything. We were very honest and people respected that, listened to that, and eventually we reached people to the point where they allowed all of the marriages and the adoptions. And we got to a point after they were legalized that people overall saw us as equals and they saw us as a thing not to always bully, harass, feel intimidated by, and just see as not a big deal. Like, I remember, I would probably say, not long after I came out, which was 16, so probably when I was 17, 18, it was a very bliss time. I had no problems, I had no issues, and people would hang out with me at that age that they wouldn't hang out with me when I was 16 and younger. Bringing this up is because, like I say, we went to a time where we were seen as equals for like the majority of humankind, but then all of the woke stuff started happening with all of the genders and all the pronouns that's being created every day pretty much, or at least once every week. And then when rational people say, you know, that's made up or that's not consistent with science, they're then called a terrible person, transphobic most likely. And, you know, that turns people off. It's the same tactics that religion would do to gays or to anyone and say, if you don't do what I want you to do, then I'm going to call you a sinner and you're going to burn in hell if you don't repent. If you think about that, it's the same. It's the same structure, but the message is different. So instead of saying you're a bad person, a sinner, you're going to burn in hell, they change the word to say this is for the rights of someone, and if you don't do it, then you're making them a bad person by not saying what we say. And when you actually look into it and think about it, what they say is actually the opposite of what they're advocating for. And like I say, it just turns normal people off that were for us when gay marriage got legalised and gay adoption got legalised. And that really annoys me because I'm very much a humanist. I believe that all human beings are intentionally like equal when it comes to worth, and to see a lot of people just not talk to us because they think we're crazy, which unfortunately the ones that are the loudest are crazy. They don't want to talk to normal ones like me, and I find it, like I say, frustrating. Also want to stop kind of communication and compromising, because if they really cared about what you think, they wouldn't judge you like that. They would listen to your views, listen to your experience, because sometimes, I don't know, not that I don't think that this is an okay thing to say for the majority of your mindset, but say, for example, if there was this gay guy who had a crush on a straight guy, and, you know, he kind of went a bit too far with his flirting or whatever, that straight guy would then have quite a negative opinion on gay men because that one experience would have been scarring to him at some point. Like I say, I don't agree with that obviously being a part of a mindset for all of gays, but I can understand why he would then feel and think like that. Because I am a moderate person, I can really understand why someone thinks and feels the way they do. And the left and the right is pretty much just as bad, but the left more so, doesn't want you to basically have a middle ground, have a grey area, and want you to compromise with people. They want you to adhere to what they say and what they follow. Like I say, I just think that it's so bad, really, because human beings are meant to have different experiences. Human beings have different personalities and different stories, and to squeeze everyone to this mindset is just so wrong. You know, I want to know why people, for whatever reason, think that gay marriage is like not the same as straight marriage, or they think that just LGBT people overall are inferior, because 9 times out of 10 it's through either religion, which is a cult itself but they don't realise it, or it's through woke stuff but then they go overboard, so they get over dramatic about it. So I want to basically preach this message of we need to not judge people and listen to people, especially when they're not physically harming us. If it's just an opinion, find out why their opinion is the way they do, and I promise you will find out that most of the time, obviously, like I say, boneheads, they're everywhere. Straight, gay, bi, trans, boneheads, non-trans, boneheads. You know, there are dicks everywhere. But overall, people aren't actually closed-minded and hateful anymore. You know, we live in a world that is beautiful and full of acceptance. Closing message for today is to basically love yourself, love everyone, and listen to your heart and your mind and go with whatever it's telling you when you know it's true, and do the same with others. Treat others with respect, listen to other people's story, and don't call someone racist, homophobic, transphobic, sexist, or whatever harsh thing just for the sake of it. You know, if you are going to accuse someone of doing it, show proof, because proof is obviously a part of logic, and you can't combat logic. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like and subscribe. If you have an experience that's similar to me, or if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, comment down below. I did a tiny video yesterday where I was saying that I'm going to be linking my Twitters and my second channel down below if you're interested about me reacting to some music. I'll link them all in my previous videos that I've done within the past week or two in the description. And I love you guys.